Yeah, and that's it. That's an important point. I think we're seeing a lot of momentum growing as far as the need to protect very large scale data sets from ransomware attacks and just malicious attacks in general. And there are a number of other features that are inherent to object storage. Some unique to Swarm, some are available in most object storage solutions. But why don't you walk everyone through each of these and how they can protect data at scale?
Sure. So we'll just walk left to right. From an authorization perspective, we have the ability to provide full, authorization, authentication, accounting, and auditing, right? Quadruple A, typically what you see, is the industry standard in the field. So, you can set things up in such a way that only certain users or groups are allowed to perform certain operations against a given set of objects that reside in the cluster. Moving further through that, of course, we support the capability to have encryption at rest for the volumes themselves. Let's say you have a volume that goes offline, but you want to make absolutely sure that, when you RMA that volume or whatever, nobody can see the data that's on it. We do support full volume encryption at rest for the drives that reside within the Swarm solution if you choose to use that. And as long as they don't have access to the keys, they will not be able to read the data that's off those volumes. And then, of course, there's support for things like being able to send things out over TLS, for end-to-end encryption as well. So encryption in transit. We provide the capability, of course, for immutability or worm, as the case may be, or perhaps even being able to lock the object if necessary. That's where immutability comes into play. So that you can ensure that once you've written something, however many times you read it, you have assurances that data has not been tampered with. There's hashing, for example, for authentication for passwords. Let's say you need to hash a password for administrative access through the systems. We don't necessarily do that in clear text. You can hash those passwords as well, so they're not clear. And then finally, we have versioning. So you have the capability to create multiple versions of objects in the cluster as they may change over time. You may change the metadata that's associated with them while keeping the body intact, or you may even change the entire object itself. You may change the body of it as well. And we provide the capability to have different versions of that object reside within the system that can be referenced with an API call so that you can reference which specific version you want to work with. So, this whole chain of features that we have here, AJ, along with the ability to even have, a temporary or permanent air gap upon replication to a given state, gives you a very ideal way to protect that petabyte scale, your data, petabyte scale data source from ransomware attacks or other bad actors.